Unleash the power. Unleash the power.
Hey guys, welcome to not the Ruckus Room, but Vinny's Vibes. A lot of life, a lot of laughter, and all in one essence of community. Today I've got two really powerhouse guests today. Mr. Eddie Lang from Serenity Realty Group. Say hello, Eddie.
Hello.
And Mr. Brad Ward from Eagle Pest Solutions.
Hello. Thank you for having us, Vinny.
Absolutely. You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome. It was a very challenging task to get you two together, but I'm glad that we're all here and enjoying a wonderful afternoon. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Brad, I know a lot about you and what you are, but there's a lot of other people that are interested to learn. What does Eagle Pest do? How did you get into it?
Sure.
Why are you a St. Louis Cardinal fan? All the
Cardinals.
vibes.
Go Cardinals for sure. So moved down here 17 years ago, and once upon a time owned a landscaping company in Illinois.
Wow.
So I wanted to be outside. I thought selling lawn care would be great. So I interviewed with True Green, and then in the Penny Saver, saw an ad from Middleton Lawn and Pest Control, which I had never heard of, but I applied with them in Palm Coast, chose to go with Middleton, thank goodness, because they also did termite, pest, mosquito. So that got me into the pest and termite world. Times went by, decided to start my own business in 2019. We started January 2nd, 2020, Eagle Pest Solutions. And tough timing, right? Tough timing. We're trying to brand ourselves, and people don't want anyone in their home.
2020, let me tell
Yeah,
you, what a great time to do some pest control, huh?
But I tell you what, networking,
Yep.
networking is what got us through that first year. 2/3 of our business came from business networking, which is awesome. So a bunch of people to thank for that.
Right.
And then we've been growing ever since. We do business in Flagler County, St. Johns County, and Ormond Beach.
Wow, that's a very, very big area. And how have you been doing with that transition? Because you started in Flagler, right? And you were
Absolutely.
So how did that come into about?
Great question. So the first 4 years was in Flagler County, trying to build our brand,
Right.
get people to know about us, doing a lot of networking.
Right.
We've had a lot of success. So in 2024, we decided we wanted to expand up into St. Johns County, and we're able to do that. We're doing some networking up there, and it's been great. It's kind of been our way in is, again, business networking.
Right.
And slowly we're building our name in St. Johns County. So that's been going well so far. We don't really have any plans to get a bigger territory. St. Johns County, Flagler, and Ormond, a lot of folks live here that need help protecting them from pests, mosquitoes, termites, their homes.
So let me ask you a question, actually, because I want to touch base on the aspect of where you came from landscaping to pest services. So what initiated that niche? What said, when you way back when you were in Middleton, like what said, okay, I'm from landscaping, what got me into pest?
Sure. Well, it was lawn care.
Right.
I wanted to be involved in lawn care, and Middleton, as it turned out, in my opinion, had the best lawn care program in Florida,
Okay.
which I got lucky there. Middleton, I think, was the 13th largest pest company in the United States at that time, which I did not know going into it. But so it's because of the lawn care, and I sold mainly lawn care for Middleton, but some termite and pest. And then as time went by, that changed, kind of got flipped as I went to another company and ended up selling mainly termite and pest and very little lawn care.
So let me ask you a question about that.
Right.
So obviously as Eagle, so you do a lot of the internal stuff inside the house, working. So tell our viewers a little bit of the difference between going outside doing the lawn care, why you like to focus so much on the indoor.
Right. So our decision was that termite, pest, mosquito, we're protecting people's homes.
Right.
We're protecting the people, their pets. Mosquitoes carry the heartworm. is how dogs, for example, get heartworm. A lot of people don't even know that.
Wow.
So mosquito care is very important to us as well. As you know, I'm
Love
kind
Florida.
of love dogs, and my little dog Gizzy is our marketing director for sure. So it was just a progression over time. Lawn care, I'm still licensed in lawn care, but we have no plans to do it. That's a lot tougher business, in my opinion.
Right.
For a lot of reasons I won't really go into detail on, but we just want to be specialists in pests, termite, and mosquito.
Awesome. And you are also a St. Louis Cardinal fan, which I will always forgive you for.
Go Cardinals.
Oh, geez.
Go Cardinals.
Go Yankees. Anyways, speaking of which, and by the way, Eddie, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm still here. I'm still here.
You're still here. We've been talking, obviously talking a lot, but we're trying to get to know one another here. So, Eddie, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who's your favorite baseball team, by the way?
Of course, the Yankees.
All day Yankees.
Boy,
Yankees
I'm outnumbered.
baseball, Let's go. All right, all day.
Well, in fairness, a pretty good team to follow. What, 27 World Series?
26 or 27. Yeah.
No, I'll just do the count here. It's 27. Thank you very much.
And the Cardinals are
second.
The Cardinals are second, but 11. That's how far behind we are.
Yeah,
but we're second.
Yeah. They're second place. Here's the thing.
No. They're in World Series win.
They're in second place. They're in second place. It's fine. So Eddie, what kind of sport do you like to follow?
So I'm actually into soccer. I played soccer all my life. I actually didn't play any other sports.
Wow, really?
My parents made us choose one, and that was the only one they were taking us to. So
what was your favorite? What would you say would be like your favorite? Your favorite soccer team?
Soccer team?
Yeah.
I mean, if the MLS, I'm Orlando City. I've been following Orlando City since they were USL, and then they moved to MLS, and been to their home opener, their first season with Kaká from Brazil. And so, yeah, Orlando City is my favorite team.
And let us in on a little bit of the environment of being in an Orlando City soccer game to begin with. What is that like?
It's an experience. Like, even if you don't like soccer, like I know people that go, that stand. We have our Ruckus, and we have our Iron Lion Firm. There are supporter groups. They stand all game. They don't pay for seats.
Wow.
They stand. And I know people that weren't soccer fans to begin with, and they're in those seats every game.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is like I'm looking at these games and it's wild. People have like painted faces. They have like,
Crazy.
People are spraying things across the stadium, like, and of course that just invigorates the fans too, or the players too, which is like.
Well, I was at the Eastern Conference Final. I took my son. He's actually visiting from England at the time, so we got tickets, and we got these great seats. We were 3 rows up, and the corner flag. I mean, it was a great seat. Didn't realize we were sitting underneath the New York Red Bulls fan section. So every time things happened, soda would land on us, beers would land on us. So we weren't in a great spot, but it was fun because obviously the Red Bulls won that game and they were excited, and you could tell it's just we were yelling at them, they were yelling at us. It makes it exciting. I mean, there's a lot into soccer. It's not just like I've been to New York Yankees. I've been to what's his name? Who got the no hitter? For New York Yankees in like 98, 99.
I think it was, there was David Cohn, there was
Not
David Wells.
David Wells. I was
Wells.
at David Wells no hitter.
Oh, were you really?
Yes, I was at David Wells no hitter.
God, what was that like?
That was amazing.
Wow. Okay.
But again, soccer is a different animal because that was a no hitter and it was getting exciting.
No, yeah.
But no hitters, that's when everybody's like, shh, don't talk about it. Like, don't talk about it.
Don't
Soccer, it's like 100% all the time.
That's amazing.
Soccer's, people knock soccer, and I get it. It can be boring watching that TV, but soccer, when you go, the World Cup is coming, this next year, this summer or next summer?
Yeah.
Next summer, I think it is.
Yeah, where is it?
In America. It's in America. It's all over the country. So Atlanta, they're playing in Atlanta. The Meadowlands is going to have Atlanta or the Meadowlands is going to have the finals. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
So yeah, and a lot of times, obviously, I obviously you can tell me and Brad are very big baseball fans.
Yes.
But I guess I can compare too. I'm a NASCAR fan as well, and there's nothing like going to a NASCAR race, right? So there's nothing like actually showing to that type of thing. And again, the same could be said. I think that's all the three compartments, right? Like unless you actually are there, like baseball, soccer. NASCAR, like there's certain sports that you can watch on television.
But to go is it's a different entity. Like you feel that, like where I was just recently, like I watch golf on TV every once in a while,
Right.
but I just watched that waste management thing in Arizona.
Okay.
That's a bucket list item.
Yeah.
I want to go to hole 16 and sit there all day and scream and yell at golfers
Right.
all day long.
All day
long.
So and that's funny because I think that's something that all of us really compare with, right? I mean, like we all, and that's something that I think COVID has done a lot when it comes to the game, one specific sport, right? Golf. I mean, golf has been like, it transcended because of COVID. It was like the one activity that everybody can do together during that time.
Right.
Brad, you've been golfing for 1,750 years, maybe. Tell me a little bit
Brad's
about that.
old.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
First,
We love our guests here, by the way.
First, I was going to say that I do like soccer as well. It makes me want to go see Orlando play. You just talking about it. I enjoy watching the Premier League. I'm a Manchester United fan.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Are you? Sorry to hear that. But the passion that the fans have, what you guys were talking about earlier, is awesome. It relates to baseball. I'm a baseball guy. I love watching games on TV. You got the MLB package. My two sons love it. My entire family. But there's plenty of people who aren't real fans of baseball. But if you go to probably Yankee Stadium, definitely if you go to Busch Stadium to watch a game, the atmosphere, the environment, there's people there that aren't real baseball fans, but they enjoy it because it being in person.
And it's really pretty out there. I mean, I've seen it from the television screen, but I can't imagine what it's like to be at Busch Stadium in St. Louis to watch the Cardinals play. I mean, that's incredible.
The arch is in the background.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. To talk about golf, definitely enjoy golf, and I try to golf as many Saturday mornings as possible.
At 6:45 a.m. Tee time.
I like early. I'm early bird. But
the bird gets the worm.
But the Players Championship, first one there with my youngest son Aaron, 4 years ago maybe. We had a blast. Went there last year with Lee, my buddy Lee, and we're going this year on Sunday, the final round as well. And again, it's the atmosphere. Same thing. Some people think golf's boring on TV. Go to the Players. You have a great time. There's all kinds of things going on. There's not golf related even.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Isn't there like a chipping contest type of thing that's out there too? And of course, if you've ever been to the Players Championship, right? Hole 17 is one of the most iconic holes in all of golf.
Thousands of people around it, and it's a lot of fun just to be there. I saw you on video, I think, practicing at the Players, didn't you? You and Becca, your wife, if I remember right.
Yeah. So there was it was a chipping contest, and I won a Nike hat, which was really great because save $30. You gotta save some money where you can get it, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, so Eddie, speaking of which, have you ever been to like a golf tournament or?
So I've actually been to the Players.
Okay.
When I used to work before I became a realtor, when I used to work at the School for Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine, and the day before the Players, the day they were practicing and doing all that good stuff, we used to bring the deaf kids up, and they used to get a training from a golf pro. And they get to experience, golf, and then we got to walk around the course. I never got to see them play, but just the atmosphere before it even started. Like, it didn't even start. Like, I was just walking around, just watching. Like, I saw Tiger Woods. He was very grumpy at the time. But, he walks by. He doesn't shake anybody's hand. A lot of the golfers will shake hands when they're walking through. But he never, he was laser focused. That's why he was the best.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's the experience and atmosphere. I mean, that's what these sporting events do. I mean, look at the last Daytona 500. I mean, it was a rain delay. They were there for hours.
Oh yeah.
And it was still packed when they finished the race. I mean, nobody left. They were there.
Yeah. So the word of advice is for all of you viewers out there is to go to an event. Go and see these things, much like what we do in our industry, before you poo-poo on whatever that the industry
idea,
the idea or the sport or any type of activity, go and give it a try. You know,
Right.
I mean, see what we do on an everyday basis. And I know we talked a lot with Brad with the pest control company, and he has done a fantastic job with that. From my own personal experience, having Brad and his team, they're amazing. I want to dive a little bit deeper into Eddie and what you do, because you do a lot. It's not just you touched on earlier. You're a realtor, but you do so many other things. Tell me a little bit about what.
Well, first, actually, Brad convinced me. I actually want to talk to Brad about some pest control from my own home, but we'll talk about that after the show. I mean, he's a pretty good salesperson, and he wasn't even trying to sell anything.
I knew I liked Eddie.
So I am a realtor. I've been a realtor here since 2016. I'm with Serenity Realty. Ashley Katz is my broker. It's a boutique brokerage. We have a very strong family atmosphere in our brokerage where we help each other. You know, we're all competitors, but we all collaborate, and that's just the way it should be. Before that, you know, I lived when I lived in New York, I was a doorman, actually, in Manhattan.
Wow.
Isabella Rossellini, the actress, Candace Bergen's daughter, lived in my building. She was in the penthouse.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, it was cool. I could say that I used her per day when she moved out. I could say I used Isabella, but that's, whatever. I used her per day. I could say I sat on the same bidet that she sat on. Bruce Blakeman, he lived there. He was actually married to Shriver, who is now married to Paul McCartney.
Wow.
And I believe that his wife was cheating on her husband with Paul McCartney at that time.
Oh, wow.
So that she was in my building.
I would know.
And then there was another, Craig Kalman. He was another one. He's the CEO of Atlantic Records. He founded Mary J. Blige. He had gold records in his thing. Like, it was crazy.
Wow.
So I had a good experience. After 9/11, it kind of going to the city wasn't as fun anymore, I guess, to say. When you're in New York, it was a different feeling. I mean, this whole country was different, but it was a different feeling. Right. I was a union laborer. I started doing asbestos removal and lead abatement, which was great for my health and my lungs.
Boy, yeah, of course.
And then, but then I moved to Florida, and I moved to Naples first. Florida first. My wife had a good job, career path. I am divorced a couple times, so this is number one. But she had a good job. We were there. We got divorced. Made another wife. We moved up here because my grandfather lived in Palm Coast since the ITT days. Right. When Eric Estrada was selling, $5,000 lots.
Now, just curious, actually, because I went to Florida Gulf Coast University, and
that college, that university opened while I was down there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, when I was in Naples, because that's only been around since
2097. So
it was small though. It was like
there was nothing going on there.
There was like no campus though at 97 though, right?
Ben Hill Griffin. Yeah. It was just like it was kind of a thought. There wasn't a lot.
Yeah, because when I left, it was like the new dorms were built up. Everything was built up for FGCU. Yeah,
it wasn't new when I went there. Carpet from 1997.
You college kids, you ruin everything. You ruin everything.
That's accurate. So tell me a little bit about the move from Naples to Palm Coast. Family probably a little bit to do with it.
So my grandfather lived here. So that was important to me. My grandfather was here, and he was my best friend. So I pretty much spent almost every day with him while he was here. So that was the main reason. At the time, I was in the hotel business, so I was working. I managed a hotel in Daytona Beach. Left that. That was school bus driver. I mean, I did a few things. I was, just kind of just finding your way. Right. And I was 2015, the summer 2015. I was in New York visiting my parents. We're sitting out. It was a beautiful summer day. We're sitting out there. You should be a realtor. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll be millions. Let's do it. So I went. Ironically enough, I mean, I'm giving real in-depth. So I got suspended from FSDB for for something stupid, but I got suspended.
We've all done some crazy.
But now, when you work for the state, you get suspended with pay. I got suspended with pay for like a few months. Well, in that few months, I got my real estate license. So thanks for suspending me and giving me time to take my real estate license. They didn't want me back, but I think I could have went back. But then I was like, I have a real estate license because I was going to make millions.
Right.
I'm not yet. I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm comfortable. I live life. And, but really, I just love helping people. Like I think real estate has changed. I think the people that I got into the business with when I started 2016, I don't know, there was more camaraderie. There was more collaboration. There's still collaboration now, but now it's a lot of competitiveness, and it's always been competitive, but I don't know, it's a different vibe. It really is a different vibe. And besides being a realtor, I'm also a director of philanthropy for Vince's Clubhouse.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's an organization for autism. We have a unit in European Village where we do adult trainings. We're working on social events for kids. And we have our Autism Festival April 5th from 11:30 to 3:30.
So tell me a little bit about that festival. Tell me a little bit about Vincent's Clubhouse, what impact it's made on the community as a whole, and where it continues to go moving forward.
So at Vince's Clubhouse, it all started with Erica's son wanting to go to camp, and they didn't have camp. Our school district did not have camp for our special needs kids. So she had to lie and said they were full. And the next year, she just started up charity. And I mean, when she started with all her own money. I mean, she wasn't raising money. I wasn't involved then. I don't.
It's incredible.
She was doing like camp was. I mean, kids went free. She paid for everything.
Wow.
And the school did not let us use the school for free. We paid for that too. It was only my son's 9 now, so I guess 7 years now, 6 years. I got involved. My son has autism, and my wife found Vince's Clubhouse, and I wanted to be a part of it. And because it takes a village, and it takes a community, and not just a special needs community, it takes the whole community to understand what autism is. This is something very rare. A lot of communities don't have something like Vince's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So we're trying to break the mold. I mean, it's costs money. We're always looking for help, but
So what's the end goal? I mean, what's the end goal of
ultimately would be a self-sustaining. I don't want to use the word school, but I guess that's the only word for it. Like where, and Flagler Schools does well, and they try. I just think we need more directive with our special needs kids, and now once the kids get older, and once the adults get older, they're 22, they're done. And there's nowhere for them to go.
And a lot of these kids can make a really strong impact, and they do make a strong impact in our community. I mean, regardless, I mean, we all here know someone that has autism or some sort of
Or
special
Asperger's
needs.
or something, yeah.
Right. And these kids are incredible. I mean, incredible. And so, I definitely love what your organization and. And I'm sure I can definitely compare. A lot of people within the organization love the way Vincent's Clubhouse.
It's and I can use my own son. It's when you see our kids and they do something special, like my son's nonverbal for the most part, but he talks, but doesn't it's not complete sentences. Won't come up to you and just have a conversation. But when he does something and it's clear as day, and even if it's the fact of get out of my room now and closes the door. We cheer that on because we're like, he wanted us out of his room, and he said it clear as day. Like it's the little things that we see, and even with the kids that are at our center and the social groups, when we see kids meeting each other. We had a homeschool thing one day, and we had the homeschoolers come in at like 2:00, and people were meeting kids, and it gives parents a sense of like that parent understands what I'm going through, and I understand because we do support groups, and that's what's important because you need that sense of. I mean, look, we could all admit that we've been to a restaurant and you see a kid yelling and screaming and we all look and go, oh, those parents. But now I think twice because I have one of those. Now mine's pretty good in the restaurant, not gonna wood. But you think twice because like it might not be bad. It's probably not bad parenting. It's more of a sensory thing or a noise thing or frustration. I mean, that's all it is. And we just have to be mindful of that and be compassionate. I mean, compassion is the key.
I think what's really cool about everything that you've brought up is the whole avenue of togetherness, right, and understanding. And I think that's a really big thing that I think a lot of us business owners I think we touch on here and there, but we don't embrace it as much as we used to. Coming together. As a community, because before we are business owners and people that represent nonprofits, right, or work for corporations, we are people, right? And, I mean, it's so important when it comes to these kind of things, Brad, touch on a little bit of some like challenges, some things that, you kind of worked on, things that that you kind of worked with,
First, Eddie, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
That blew me away right there.
Yeah.
Second, you didn't tell me that you were having Eddie with his radio voice talk right by me. If Jay Shear was here, I would.
You're welcome.
I mean, it would be over for me. But couple things. Well, some people know I had major speech issues as a kid. Grew up in Central Illinois, a village of 500 people, Mount Auburn. My parents, the school pathologist, couldn't help me at all. They tried people in Springfield, etc. No one could help me. They finally found the best lady in St. Louis. Went to her. I made a connection with her. she helped me tremendously. So it was that. I was still quiet. I was good in sports, baseball and basketball, by the way. It's been so long I can say that.
What position did you play in baseball?
Pitcher, first base mainly. I did play every position at some point, though.
He was important.
Yeah.
He wasn't the center fielder.
I'll tell you this, seeing a lot of position players, man, I always realize that the first baseman and the pitcher, they normally go one and the same. And it's funny, the longer that a first baseman goes, the worse his arm gets. But then the second that he goes from first base to pitcher, it's like, I mean,
Gotcha.
it's just incredible.
Right.
Tall players.
Oh, yeah. So baseball and basketball, because of that, I had a lot of friends. And but it was when I got out of high school, my dad bought me a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Still have the same book, but that really taught me how to communicate.
Dale Carnegie, for sure. It's at home in my office, up there on the bookshelf. I go to it quite a bit still, even though I memorized most of it. But that really helped me a lot, and just going at it year after year, getting better. No one when I was a kid would have thought I would have made a living for a long, long time communicating with people. They would have thought I would have maybe played professional baseball, been a coach, maybe a teacher, stuff like that, but it went another direction. So what kind of like influenced you and drove you to not only address it but fly with it, go, kind of grow on it and be a leader in our community, right?
Well, I love people. I love helping people. I do love dogs better. And I bring that
Agreed.
up quite a bit when I'm at customers' homes. I say, no offense, I really like you, but I love your dog. But
Who was your favorite dog that you ever saw? And you don't have to specify the person, but I'm just curious. Other than Gizmo.
a customer's dog?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, there's so many.
Oh come on.
There's so many.
But there's one that always sticks out.
I guess the best story. This isn't what you're going for, but I was in a customer's home. I didn't even know they had a dog,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a pit bull clamped down on my forearm.
Oh no way.
Right.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
But the good news for me, and I felt horrible for the dog, but it had no teeth.
Oh.
It had no teeth.
So it gummed him.
It gummed me, and then it was friendly. It was friendly. So that sticks out, obviously.
Right.
I've only been bit twice at a few thousand people's homes over the years. The other one was a Chihuahua bit me. So a little
It's a little
extreme.
more vicious,
a little
huh?
extreme. They tend to be, yes.
Yeah. It's always the small ones, always the small animals. It's crazy.
But yeah, just helping people. It's all about helping people, helping our customers. I'm known as a diplomat. I like to bring people together, not divide people.
Right.
There's enough division in this
World. Yep.
world.
Yep.
More people that can bring people together, I think the better.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I think like a lot of us, like for example, I work for Trustco Bank. I work for a bank, right? There is plenty of banks in this area, but I think what's so important, right, is the collaboration that you can have with just if people that your competition, even like your competition and the people that you meet with, because that's how you learn, build, and grow, right?
Right.
So yeah, touch up on that a little bit.
All banks are not the same. It's just like realtors are not the same. Pest control, right. There's a variety. You need a company or a person that you can bond with, trust.
Right.
Know, like, and trust them. I know when we use anyone, whether it's at our home or whatever the case may be, that's what we're looking for. So.
Right. And again, like, Eddie, from the real estate point of view, a lot of times, like for example, the Flagler County Association of Realtors brings a lot of realtors together for like different educational events, Mardi Gras, right? There's all these different things that come aboard. So tell me a little bit about like how you as a real estate agent have found value in consulting with other realtors?
Everything I've learned as a real estate agent or a realtor is from other realtors, not just your office, not just your broker. It's that collaboration. I mean, one of my probably my closest people that got me involved in the leadership aspect was Dennis Walker. We had a conversation. He was a great realtor and he still is. I mean, I think he stepped back a little bit, but I mean, he got me into leadership. And then Ryan Ford from Watson Realty up in Ponte Vedra. I mean, he was amazing. He's like my go-to. I talk to him all the time. I have questions. I ask him. And we don't work in the same office. We don't even work in the same area really anymore. I mean, we do all each other's area, but he's focused up there. I'm focused down here. We don't. It's a collaboration, and like he said, when you have people come to your home, like just listen to him today. Like I'll hire him. I mean, hopefully he's not $1 million, a session, but I want to talk to him because I have customers, and this is what it's all about. It's bringing everybody together because we all could use each other. And to bring this up because I'm also on the Palm Coast Ambassadors. I know it's a big long name. So the Citizens Academy, because I did Citizens Academy for Palm Coast. I love Palm Coast. I think Palm Coast is a great community. Yeah, we have traffic. Yeah, we have this. Yeah. We're fighting this. We're worried about our water. But we got growth. It's growth, but we have to give grace. I mean, not everything's going to be perfect. I mean, look, do I like the crazy growth that we have now? I don't. I hate when it takes me 50 minutes to get to the beach when it used to take me 10. Right. So I get it, but it's about the connection and bringing people together. Like Brad said, I'm all about that. Because I love Palm Coast. I mean, I have my gripes. I'll still complain to the city council. Palm Coast, the Flagler County Commission. We do, and that's what we have that right to do. Right. But we have to have grace, and we have to have a great network and just kind of feed off each other. Like I mean, and not to plug your bank or you, but I went to Trustco because your bank. When I went there, I feel friendly. Where I go to some of these other banks, in the area, and they don't know my name. And I don't like that. I miss that hometown bank. Like I miss it wholeheartedly. That when I walk in,
$30 after, no big deal. Thanks, Eddie.
I just want to
sponsored by Trustco Bank.
Back up what Eddie was saying in pest control. Pete Steinmetz with Turner Pest Control. He's kind of the guy that led the charge in building them to where they got when they sold to a bigger company. But he's given me advice that I've taken to heart for my own business. And there's a couple people in particular that are in pest control. In Palm Coast, I know the one goes to St. Augustine as well, that we collaborate. We will refer each other when it makes sense. So, your competition doesn't have to be the enemy, is the bottom line.
Yeah, and I really love how you guys touched up on that because obviously in the lending world for me, there's a lot of things that Trustco cannot do. There's a lot of things that we have a really great product. Here's my sales plug: 97% financing with no private mortgage insurance. We don't sell the mortgage, but because we don't sell our mortgage, our lending products fit a certain demographic, right? So that's where the relationships kick in, where you not only learn a lot about that other person, but then you're able to be fruitful with the people that you do meet. So this way you can generate business for that person. And then there's obviously things that they can't do. And, from the business avenue, it brings profitability together. But because of that, it creates that bond, right? That bond where you can just say, hey, how are you doing in your industry? How are you doing right now? What's going on? What can I do to support you? Maybe not profitably all the time, but how could I support you in this? Because I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. I know where you've been. So yeah. So this has been good. So anything else? Anything you guys want to touch on? Anything you guys were kind of thinking about? Through our.
I just want to say this goes back to what Eddie was talking about with Vincent's clubhouse, right? Is that it's great to give back. I know Eagle Pass, one of the ways we give back is we play in charity golf tournaments. We've played in the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation golf tournament last year. We'll be playing this year. Yeah. We recently played in the Marine Corps law enforcement. It's for fallen Marines and law enforcement that were Marines or Navy for their families.
That's a fun tournament.
Christmas Come True, we've played in before. American Legion golf tournament last year we played in, and a lot of others. But it's good to be part of that community, coming together and for some of that to go towards that charity, which is awesome. So
Exactly. And again, like it also goes to the perspective of there's no one person that cannot put in some sort of effort for a good cause that they believe in, right? Eddie, can you touch on that a little bit?
Well, so here's the thing with, because he brought up, he does the golf, which is great, and that's what we want. And I want businesses to know, because I mean, obviously I'm a business owner too, and I give back to the community, not just Vince's Clubhouse. I'll donate to Smart or go to their events and buy raffles and do all that. My biggest thing is business. Businesses don't have to be scared to say no, because sometimes it just doesn't always fit, and like sometimes there's things that you're looking to get an ROI, but sometimes there's things you're just trying to be a part of the community. Right. I don't feel bad though, because like there's a lot of 501(c)(3)s and charities out there asking for money, and I try to be very coy about it. Like I'm not. I ask, because all you can do is ask, and you can say no, but that doesn't hurt me. But I know that, like Vince's Clubhouse, the businesses that have helped us, we push and push and push, because like we want to support. Like we're not asking for, hey, can you sponsor this? And you sponsor it, we thank you for a day, and then we never hear. Somebody call, hey, like Brad, for instance, hey, do you guys know a pest? You know what? Brad, I remember he supported our whatever he did, and we're gonna push those businesses. I mean, that's because they're a part of this community. They're trying to be a part of this community. They didn't look for the ROI, but we want to give them that ROI. We want them to know that, like, our organization is gonna, everybody in our organization is gonna push you, and we're gonna promote you, and you did good things for us, and we know that you're good people. And we want you to do good people for the rest of the community. Good things for the rest of the community.
So would you say, like,
awesome.
The more you give, the more you feel fulfilled. The more fulfilled that you.
I love giving. I mean, I wish I had more to give. I mean, I'm not rich. I mean, sometimes you wish you had more to give. I mean, I watch those feel good videos when those guys just go knock and they're like, hey, I want to give you $1,000 just because you're special. Like, I wish I could do that. Where's this guy getting his $1,000?
Right.
And why can't he find me and give me $1,000?
Let's go. Come on, I need to pay my mortgage.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a mortgage. I'm good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Trustco Bank. Anyways, well, I wanted to thank you both for taking the time out today to, be a guest on this show. It's very real. It's very raw in some ways, but a lot of the different things. Again, that was what I wanted to build on, like real conversation and. Just talking a little bit, obviously about the business, but what really drives you as people. So
Yeah, thank you for having us on. It's been a pleasure, Vinny.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a great show going forward. I think you're going to get some great people in here. You know a lot of great people, and you'll have great conversation about the community, about what they do, and networking. I mean, I think you're going to have a great show. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Eddie, and thank you, Brad. Yeah, this is the first episode, so please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. If you guys ever did the math equation, whatever that is, it's irrelevant. I'm a squirrel. But anyways, I'm Vinny. This is Vinny's Vibe: life, laughter, community, and randomness. So thank you guys. Again, Vinny from Trustco Bank, your hometown bank. Look forward to talking with you guys soon. If you want to join the podcast, feel free to reach out to any of the members of Flagler Voice. We'd love to have you on. Thank you, guys.